Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Game Hub. I'm your host, Gamer K. 2024 is officially here. Last year was a pretty good year. Did some new things, did some new videos, did some old videos that I had to get to, and now it's hopefully a great year again this year. We will be starting off by going through a kind of another idea video of a series that I love near and dear to my heart, and two new installments of said series will be releasing sometime late this year, or maybe they'll just be announcing stuff. But overall, my mind has been racking about ideas of what to do for these future games. I am, of course, talking about Assassin's Creed, Project Japan, I think it's called, and Codename Hex. Obviously, there's no big name yet, so they're still working on it. So, with the small little bit of detail we were able to get from these two games in the last year, I came up with some ideas of what these games could entail. I don't know if this video is going to be long or is it going to be short, because we got a little bit of information in the Japan game, which, okay, I'm going to be honest. Who among the Assassin's Creed community has ever wanted a game based in medieval Japan? A show of hands. You don't need to. We've all wanted it. Ever since we've gone back to the feudal, ancient era, I can't wait for it. So I'll be starting off with that one, and all honesty, I can just imagine it. The scenery that we could do. Ancient temples, geisha houses, because obviously we got to have if we had courtesans and we had singers and dancers and Romani gypsies, we're going to have geishas in this. We're going to have to blend in with them. We're going to have to use them to distract guards. It's going to be amazing. We could have bathhouses, hot springs, bamboo groves. If they do what they did with Assassin's Creed Origin, Mirage, and keep it to an open city, I wouldn't mind that. But let's have a little bit more branching out a little bit. Like, they improved it and make it a little bit more open world plus open city. Because, again, my gripes, it was a little too plain with not that much going on. A lot of space misutilized. So this one could definitely reutilize. And the animals we could get. We can get tigers. We can get cranes. Yeah, I haven't really thought that part of it through. But having a tiger would be so freaking sick. And let's be honest, we've all wanted to be in Assassin's Creed and take on a tiger. I mean, we take it on wolves, bears, bobcats, lynxes, crocodiles, hippos, elephants. Oh. So, yeah, tiger's the next way to go. And from what I've learned from my sources, is that Japan will be utilizing two different characters. And it's not like in Odyssey or Valhalla, where you get to pick which character you are throughout the game. It will be two different characters, much like it was with Assassin's Creed Syndicate, playing as an African-American samurai, which, all honesty, I think is going to be badass. And considering it's based on an actual person, from what I've read, that's going to be freaking awesome. And I believe his gameplay will most likely be the combat part. And honestly, I don't know if he's with the Templars or, the Order of Ancients, because we're still in that ancient realm, or if he's with the Assassins, or if he's a loner. I have no idea, but I could definitely see him coming into the game and obviously either hunting down the Order of Ancients because of his duty or due to a long-standing revenge. I don't really know, but we could go into like the geisha houses and gambling dens, again, more of a combat-oriented character with very little stealth, because obviously if he's going to be a samurai, he's going to have armor. So obviously we won't be doing a lot of parkour with this guy. With this guy, we'll most likely, again, be doing the brawls, the combat, and maybe a puzzle here or there. With the second character, and I hope it's a female again, we get a ninja-like assassin, which honestly would be majority of the stealth sections and maybe the puzzles. And if we do tailing again, I like how they did tailing in the last game. It wasn't overly complicated and it wasn't overly boring like, you know, certain Assassin's Creed games. I love them, I'm just saying. This character could 100% be fully into the Creed. But maybe I can't stress this enough. Can we go back to having characters who have nothing to do with the Isu? Please. I mean, we had Alexios or Cassandra, we had Eivor, we had Bassem. Can we please get a main character that is not involved with the Isu? Let's stick to the Creed, please. Because I miss all that. And again, this character would definitely be more, obviously her arsenal would be obviously very stealth based, like the blow darts, the black powder eggs, shuriken. We could get shuriken or ninja stars or kunai, depending on what we do. We could have a kasarigama for her combat, and obviously for the samurai character, we'd be obviously wielding a grand katana. Now, what if this katana is a piece of Eden? We haven't gone into those in years. But obviously we won't have it be or what if his samurai, he has two samurai swords. One is one that's been passed down through generation to generation, and it's a piece of Eden, and no one has been able to utilize it because they don't have the blood of the Isu. And it's not until late in the game that the main villain or side villain, because, you know, sometimes side villains tend to take up the villain role later in the game, uses it in the final confrontation, and it could be freaking glorious to be done in an old school Japanese temple underground. And it could be a glorious fight. Going into the Order of Ancients, we could definitely have their code names be after the names of, just like what they did with Mirage, having the code names be symbolized by Muslim mythology, like the names of the demons: Al Ghul, Al Bahamut, Al Picaria. I think that would be great, and they can continue that here. Just please, like Obaki, which is Japanese for ghost. Like, they could do so much with these code names, and because it's such a lush area, it's such a beautiful traditional environment, we could have a lot more than what we got in Mirage. Mirage was the stepping stone to bring us back into the old styles of Assassin's Creed, and Japan could definitely give us what we've been wanting. An old school one, tracking down our targets. And please, go back to how the death scenes were done in Valhalla. Those were super cinematic, very, very, very grand. The last ones were just lying on the ground and saying a couple words. Like, it was kind of dull. It was kind of dull. We could have someone who's rising up the villagers to fight the emperor, the emperor at the time, or the daimyo, which could be really amazing, but is in secret getting them to work for the order and enslave them afterwards, like getting some to rebel while others are being taken. Or we could get a corrupt shogun with, I mean, think about it. There's no higher power in that other than the daimyo or the emperor than the shoguns. And that could be 100% well done. We could also go into the geisha houses as they're seeking information to blackmail people, because that's how the Order of Ancient works. They work from the shadows. It could, I mean, there's so many possibilities that they could do. So I'm all for it. For side missions, we could work with some villagers in order to get bandits or the order to off their backs, and they would help us later on and help us with items, because obviously there wouldn't be shops for our types of weapons, so we'd have to do the underground market, which would be, it's actually could really work, but that would only be useful. Actually, okay. And also, I'm just going to say this. No, it's not on. There's no notes. I'm going completely off by memory on this. I'm going to start I'm starting the new year with some new ideas, and all of these are coming right. I'm doing it live, basically. I'm doing it live. I believe, like, because we're doing two characters, each one could have their own side missions, somewhat like what Syndicate did. But again, you could have done some of the missions as Jacob. You could have done some of them as Evie, depending on their skill set. But this one, as the samurai, we'd have to buddy with the rest of the Ronins and maybe bounty hunters, if possible, to work. And I can 100% see that being done. Again, samurai would stick more to being the imperialist, going up from the top down, working with some of these people in order to show them that things aren't right in their district. While the ninja could work from the bottom up, working with the people at the bottom rung and evolve and gaining information that way. And each one would have their own unique Order of Ancient member to assassinate. That way it feels kind of not so cut and paste with the cutscenes, with having them like, like how RPGs do it nowadays, where depending on what character you pick, the dialogue is the same, but it's a different character. So hopefully they don't do that. Oh, I'm excited for this. I'm really, really excited, because all these ideas could be implemented. So I hope that this happens. And again, no order, no Isu. Let's keep it away from this for now. Please, we don't need it. I'm just saying. But it could definitely, I mean, if they do a little bit of someone who's connected to the Isu, a little bit, not make them the focal point of the game, because we've had 3 games where that was basically the focal point, and it was a hit or miss majority. I'm just saying, this has me super excited. It's a game I've been wanting for years for the Assassin's Creed series, ever since Odyssey came out, and it's something that everyone's been wanting, and hopefully they don't screw it up. I just hope they don't. So Japan, again, it's a dream come true if they execute it right, with 2 different characters, having maybe, again, doing 2 different styles. I think it's something that could 100% work. And now we go into the one that had the least amount of information, and I scour trying to look for information a little bit from my source. We get Codename Hex, which isn't given that much, except for this small trailer with this form of the Assassin's logo made out of bones and twigs, and the creepiness of the white makes me think we could actually get the Salem witch trials, which I feel like could be done very well. I don't know if this would be a point where we are if we're almost itching out of the Order of Ancients and more back into the Templars, which, again, okay, I said witch, and I didn't mean that yes, I did not mean that as the joke way. I don't have to make a joke every time. This is the year I find out what you are. So either we could with Hex, we either continue a little bit more with the Order of Ancients, or we're right back in with the Templars during the Salem witch trials, because that's where I think we're going with this, and it fits. And we could have a pure female main character. And the way I can see the story developing, because we have two characters who are either involved with the Creed already, or one of them is going to be a loner working with the Creed, much like how Eivor did, but not really join the Creed, you know? I see it during the first couple years of the Salem witch trials, where the Templars, obviously seeking control and power, and the artifacts, could be killing people who know too much and claiming they're witches, which, again, would be a pretty cool idea. What if we kind of started off with a small prologue where our female lead is somewhat of a little girl, maybe a teenager at this point, a little younger, and during the cutscenes, we're strolling through the town market, something like that, and we see some bullies, like, bullying her. He goes, obviously back then, girls were picked on a lot, all of that. And then this adult woman comes around and scares the young boys off, and the girl takes a liking to her, like she's nice, and she helped her. And this is where shit gets bad. In the night, the Templars are attacking, picking women to, for those Salem witch trials. Where the woman who helped us before has a hoodie on and breaks through our door as a Templar soldier is attacking her, and she's killed. And her hidden blades, her blade falls off. Well, not falls off. I mean, obviously during the fight combat, the straps go loose and it falls off her. And we see, we're hiding and we see her getting attacked by this guy. And, a couple things are said in between, something obviously that the Salem witch trials are a farce and the Templars know it. And as the assassin gets killed, our character grabs the hidden wrist blade, charges at the Templar soldier, saying stuff like, "Get away from her," and stabs him, killing him, and goes to the female assassin trying to save her, but she's already gone. But we see something in her, clutching in her fist, which we kind of take out, and it's a note. So we take the note, we take the brazier, and we run away. Years later, it's revealed that we were found by the Order during the invasion of the town. Another assassin finds us. We tell them what happened with their fallen comrade, the note, and they bring us in. After having the knowledge that the Salem witch trials, which have practically maybe gone on for maybe a year or two before the events of this moment. So the witch trials, again, have been very prominent. Witches, burn the witches, witchcraft, all of that stuff. Knowing that it's a lie and that the person who saved us gave her life to trying to help others, we decided to take up her cause. As we hunt down the Templars responsible for, obviously not responsible for the Salem witch trials, but basically the ones who are using them to oppress. And a good majority of the Templars in this should be females. I think that could be an idea, but maybe a good majority of them, because we don't get that many female villains in Assassin's Creed that much. And the ones we do get are either bland, boring, some of them pretty great, but at the same time, we don't get that many of them. So it would be really cool to have them in control during this game. Obviously, Salem? Yeah, Salem, Massachusetts. I cannot say, for the life of me, I can never say Massachusetts right. I don't know why. So obviously being in the town, it would be a kind of, not a modern day thing, but more modern-ish than what we've had before. With not so many deserted areas. We could track, by using information we obtain. Yeah, again, because there's no real information going forward of where the game takes place, what time era, what we get from it, there's not that much I can give in terms of ideas. But I do think because of the trailer, how it's kind of in this swampy area, kind of like in Assassin's Creed Liberation, we have to go forward into the swamp area to talk to some ancient help that the assassins have been getting from people. Because in the swamps, everyone hears everything in the swamps. So that could be another angle. Maybe we can do something like we did in Liberation, where we had to change costumes in order to fit in, either wear proper attire for a lady in order to gain access to certain parties for information spying, or to kill a target in disguise. Not go the servant route, not go that route. Have the assassin and the more lavish, I guess you could say something like that. Like, obviously something to infiltrate. Because I really do miss that, what they did with that. And it works. And also, we kind of had to do that same thing in Mirage. I think once we had to change outfits. Not only that, but I think having the main Templar assassinations or main Order of Ancients in both games, bring back the sandbox missions. They were so fun and unique. I miss them. And only getting them in Assassin's Creed Syndicate and, okay, a little bit of Unity, which was kind of boring, the Unity ones. But the Syndicate ones doing very good. And then Mirage, bringing them back. I would 100% love to have these return again. Seeking information, figuring out how to infiltrate the area, how to assassinate, how to get close to the target. Keep these going. Keep the sandbox missions going. Because both of these games really, really need them. For side missions, we could save women who are accused of being witches. We could... Because we're in Salem, what if we hunt down a lore for ancient armor that is directly connected to an actual old-time witch, and the armor has been blessed by their pagan gods, or something like that? It would be a grand idea to implement these features into these two new games, and I'm going to keeping my eye out really, really close for these two games, because after what Mirage had, I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on these. I forgot something. Oh, right. And do me a let's discuss the elephant in the room with these games because of what happened in Mirage. You did not give us modern day. If you can, please don't let that happen again. I kind of enjoyed the modern day a little bit now that Bassem is back, but we got nothing from from current day. I mean, at the end of the infuriatingly short and painful to go through final Assassin's Creed Valhalla DLC, where we see that Bassem gave a sample of his blood in order to put it into the Animus, we got nothing. No commentary, no anything. So it was a little bit of a disappointment. So I know people hate the modern day missions or the modern day aspects of the Assassin's Creed, but I think now that we got one game break from it, we could really use a little bit more context now and why we are going to these specific their stories and how they affect everything else. So yeah, it's a small thing that I want back. It's a big thing that a lot of people don't want. But I think it's time to bring it back after a game hiatus and give us something unique again. And that's it for these ideas. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed my ideas of what could come of these 2 new Assassin's Creed games. What are some ideas you guys think that these games could implement? Story-wise, gameplay-wise, anything. So, thank you for logging in. Like, comment, subscribe down below. Again, happy 2024. And join me next week where I go into a favorite topic of mine as we see some of the greatest wizards of anime. As long as they don't destroy the game hub while they're in the if that doesn't give it away, I don't know what will. This is Gamer K, logging out.